At the very heart of NASA's innovative experiments and engineering solutions stands our hero, a person with a unique mindset and unwavering determination. He is not just another engineer among a long line of specialists. He is a true legend, setting himself ambitious goals. And this time his aim was to create an engine capable of operating without traditional fuel. Inspired by dreams of endless journeys into the depths of space, without the need to carry massive fuel tanks, he dared to attempt what once seemed impossible. This is the story of how extraordinary vision and a passionate drive to overcome technical barriers led our hero to the beginning of one of the most exciting projects in the history of astronautics. Stay with us, and you'll find out how this engineer began his journey at NASA. Our hero didn't start out at NASA right away. The beginning of his journey was like a meteor, flying at incredible speed. Since childhood, he was fascinated by the stars and dreamed not just of studying them from afar, but of being part of something greater. While still a student, his work in the university laboratory attracted the attention of legendary scientific luminaries. His ability to think outside the box and his unique solutions in the field of aerospace systems set him apart from other young engineers. His first success was a scientific paper that caught the eye of prestigious circles and secured him a place in a NASA research group. However, the young talent did not stop there. In the first months of his work at the agency, he successfully applied innovative approaches to solving complex problems, which made it possible to significantly simplify certain processes in the field of aerospace research. It was precisely his early achievements and open-minded thinking that allowed our protagonist to earn the respect of his colleagues and get the opportunity to work on his dream project, the very same fuel-free engine. But his story is only just beginning, for a far more ambitious challenge lies ahead. In the dimly lit halls of the laboratory, where the fine line between inspiration and surrender becomes blurred, our protagonist immerses himself in the mesmerizing world of research. Every morning begins with a secret meeting with colleagues who share his dream and understanding of the greatness of their goal. The engineer focuses not only on the formula but on the concept itself, where the silent vacuum of space could become the sole fuel for the propulsion system. To protect their ideas from prying eyes and bureaucracy, he works within a tightly knit team, meticulously testing every hypothesis and recording everything in the protocol. Because of the responsibility placed upon them, they proceed with caution. The research is aimed at identifying alternative energy sources, such as the frequencies and waves found in nature. Often, it is in the late hours of the night that solutions are found here, lifting the veil of misunderstanding that rested on minds during the day. However, how this will be received at the highest level remains a mystery. A new surge of initiative threatens to shake the very walls of NASA itself. But our protagonist and his team are still keeping this a secret, preparing an experiment that will change everything. Soon the walls of the laboratory will witness the first significant test, which will only heighten the intrigue of the revolutionary project. Our protagonist, inspired both by science fiction and by concrete scientific premises, is developing a bold theory. This theory is based on the use of principles involving electromagnetic waves and various effects of quantum mechanics. Imagine an engine that captures and harnesses natural phenomena similar to the solar wind or cosmic radiation. With no need for heavy fuel tanks, their place is taken by compact solutions for generating energy directly from the environment. Our engineer's imagination has given rise to a peculiar synergia chance combination of well-known theories that nevertheless may offer a practical solution. The challenge of these scientific ideas lay in integrating them into a functioning system, which lays the foundation for an innovative approach. Colleagues around see this as an unexpected way out of a deadlock that has hindered progress for decades. But does this only slow down the processes of his own imagination, or does it prove useful in the long-awaited tests? The answer will come through further research and experimentation. Soon we will see his ambitions rise to the highest peaks, confronting them with very real challenges. The trials were not long in coming. The first experiments began in an atmosphere of excited anticipation, but immediately reminded everyone that the path to success is rarely straightforward. At first, everything looked promising, but the engine behaved unpredictably. It seemed as if the laws of physics, which supported the team's hypotheses, were toying with them, throwing up imaginary obstacles. Unforeseen fluctuations and strange laws led to the experimental results deviating from the calculated data. Some colleagues tended to believe that the project would lose its significance, but each failure only fueled our hero's curiosity. Evening after evening, he and his team analyzed mistakes, discussed various possibilities, and often made unexpected discoveries on their way to solving the mystery. One of these was the realization of how quantum effects could influence the engine's performance. This discovery felt like a revelation and gave them additional confidence that they were on the right track. But many challenges still lay ahead of them. What incredible help would soon appear to support their efforts? Unexpected support, opening up new horizons in their research, was just around the corner, remaining for now only a mystical and still mysterious factor in the course of their work. Gradually, the results of all the research and the persistence of our protagonist began to attract interest among colleagues within NASA. Those who were initially skeptical of his ambitions now showed a desire to study his findings more closely. The wall of distrust began to crack when several leading engineers decided to personally observe the work on the mysterious engine. Subtle revelations and unexpected discoveries prompted them to reconsider their beliefs. Change did not take long to follow. Experienced scientists, seeing the potential of the idea, offered their assistance, providing our protagonist with valuable resources and expertise in various aspects of development. Soon the secret research became a collective endeavor, and the idea of the new engine captured the imagination not only of fellow enthusiasts, but also of other teams, who began contributing to its development. Electromagnetic models and quantum mechanics theories, previously considered purely theoretical, now took on tangible form and began to be seriously discussed at conferences and meetings. Our hero gained new allies who were eager to contribute and accelerate the process of creating the revolutionary engine. This enthusiastic support, combined with collective energy and talent, began to noticeably bring the team closer to the moment when their incredible invention could be discussed by the whole world. But ahead lay a challenge that demanded endurance and patience. After all, senior scientists stood in their way with skepticism and caution. The tension in the laboratory was rising. The engineers, his team, knew that the upcoming experiment would be critical. It was a time for decisive action and technical genius that had to be brought to life. All attention was focused on a single apparatus where every screw, every wire had been checked to eliminate even the slightest chance of error. On this day, everything came together, the calculations, intuition, and the team working as one. The system was being launched, and the unusual modeling of germanium and new components that had attracted the attention of science enthusiasts began to show signs of life. The engine came to life, demonstrating stable results for the first time. The screens displayed data confirming what had previously been only a theory. It seemed that the electromagnetic flows could be kept within the desired range, and this news spread rapidly, like a wave. It felt as if the universe had paused, and the air in the laboratory was charged with anticipation of future discoveries. Fellow scientists celebrated the newfound success, realizing how close they had come to achieving their dream. While emotions were just beginning to run high, it was time to focus on the upcoming trials and the consequences of their experiment. For soon there would be voices demanding proof on a larger scale. This was only the first note in the symphony of innovation, to be followed by the most intriguing and challenging test dealing with bureaucracy and skepticism within the scientific communities. Although the experimental setup showed promising results, our hero and his team still faced serious resistance from senior scientists and NASA bureaucrats. Innovative ideas often provoke skepticism, especially when they challenge established theories. The high-ranking officials in the organization, armed with decades of experience and a significant dose of conservatism, did not immediately accept the results as significant. In their eyes, the new engine seemed like science fiction or even a threat to the established order. While our hero was fired up by success and inspired his colleagues, he had to struggle with the administration, which demanded numerous additional tests and proofs. This exacerbated the situation, creating tension between those at the forefront of the new discovery and those who were concerned with maintaining NASA's stability and reputation. The entire team found themselves in a double bind, feeling both the joy of their achievements and the pressure from the reluctance to remain at the cutting edge of innovation. Each new requirement felt like yet another invisible threshold they had to cross to prove the validity of their work. Our protagonist understood that to convince their opponents and overcome the barriers of bureaucracy, it would take more than just documents and reports. The time had come to show the world the results, the only thing that could resolve this tense situation and chart a new course in the history of space exploration. The decisive moment arrived when our protagonist and his team were finally able to organize a demonstration of their invention. These were privileged moments of triumph, a time when they had to convince not only themselves but the entire world of the viability of the propulsion system. Meticulous preparation and numerous tests had brought them to this day, when hypotheses were to be transformed into concrete facts. Not long ago, the once skeptical scientists and NASA administrators stood frozen in anticipation of the outcome. The vast hangar was filled with members of the scientific community, reporters, and of course the long-awaited critics. Tension was building in the hall, for at stake was not only the team's reputation but also a breakthrough for space science. With crystal clarity, the processes governing the engine that used cosmic phenomena as its energy source were demonstrated. The prototype came to life, operating steadily before the astonished eyes of the audience. The reduction in system mass and the increase in efficiency became immediately apparent to everyone watching. The hall filled with the first round of applause. Joyful reactions and expressions on faces testified to a breakthrough success. This was the moment when the hero's project crossed the boundary from theory into practice. Clear proof of concept offered the chance to change the paradigm of space exploration, and now no one could ignore it anymore. Gradually, numerous doors began to open for its implementation and widespread adoption, but even greater prospects lay ahead than ever before. What will these far-reaching plans turn out to be? New horizons are already within reach. The convincing success and demonstration of the prototype are just the beginning, heralding a true revolution in space travel. An engine that operates without traditional fuel opens up unprecedented opportunities for space explorers. Imagine a spacecraft that doesn't require thousands of gallons of rocket fuel for every mission. This is not only a significant cost saving, but also reduces weight restrictions for spacecraft. Now, without the need to carry fuel supplies, the payload can be increased, opening up a whole range of new missions, whether it's exploring distant planets or deploying more complex and powerful space telescopes. The engine is capable of running indefinitely, no longer limited by resources or time. And this changes the game when it comes to exploring our solar system. The new technology paves the way for longer-term space travel, the possibility of establishing permanent space colonies, and expanding humanity's reach beyond Earth. These remarkable prospects also suggest a significant impact on international cooperation in space and the transformation of long-term ambitions into reality. All of this raises the question, how far can we really go if we are no longer limited by the usual boundaries? Upcoming missions to Mars, returning to the Moon, and even preparing for interstellar expeditions are no longer just dreams but entirely achievable goals. And now, as all eyes turn to the heavens, a deeper question arises: what else is humanity capable of achieving, and what unknown mysteries await us beyond our own star system? Global recognition became a natural outcome for our protagonist, whose work shone not only with the light of success, but also with his own charm as an innovative thinker of our time. Shortly after the prototype demonstration, news of the breakthrough fuel-free engine spread around the world, sparking amazement and admiration within the scientific community. Journalistic articles, key interviews, and entire television programs, all of this fanned the flames, illuminating every detail like a wildfire. With each passing minute, our protagonist became more and more famous. Recognition found him in the most unexpected places, from prestigious universities and research organizations to public events, where he was awarded honors and given the opportunity to share his knowledge. At conferences and on campuses, his ideas resonated with people from all walks of life and professions, convincing them that his invention truly had the power to change the world. Even despite his tremendous success, the engineer remained humble and firmly committed to further exploring the boundaries of what was possible. His life was now divided into before and after the discovery. He felt how the hardships and sleepless nights had turned into inspiration, becoming the main driving force for future plans and improvements. However, there was no room left in his dreams for a long rest. He intends to use the fame and opportunities granted to him to lead the world to new revelations. Pursuing his grand goal, he is preparing for new achievements, the creation of more advanced and reliable technologies that may one day become a familiar part of life in space. But most importantly, he inspires a new generation of engineers and scientists, instilling faith in the limitless prospects and challenges that can go hand in hand with the technologies of the future. And although his project has achieved massive success, even more ambitious plans are opening up new horizons beyond traditional boundaries. Just how far-reaching are they, and what impact will they have on the future of science and technology? The answers to these questions will change our understanding of what is possible, paving the way for prospects that seem endless. After overwhelming success and widespread recognition, our hero found himself at a crossroads. He stood before new opportunities and challenges that continued to captivate his mind. His unique invention ushered in a new era of space exploration, giving humanity hope for endless adventures beyond our world. But what lies ahead for him, and how does NASA plan to make use of the knowledge gained? In conclusion, it can be said with confidence that this revolutionary project has changed the paradigm of our approach to space research. The fuel-free engine has become not only a scientific breakthrough, but also a symbol of the spirit of discovery and the passion for knowledge. It reminds us that the greatest achievements are possible when they are born from dreams and the drive to overcome the unknown. NASA in turn sees this breakthrough as an opportunity to bring much more ambitious projects to life. In the future, our hero, feeling a sense of responsibility for the opportunities he has opened up, plans to focus his efforts on creating even more efficient technologies and awe-inspiring interplanetary missions. He wants to inspire the next generation of researchers and engineers to turn their dreams into achievements capable of changing the game. Perhaps it is his work that will determine the fate of the first colonies on Mars, or pave the way to a new understanding of our place in the universe. This project and its successes are not just a milestone in history, but also an inspiration for future generations, showing how far humanity can go if it rejects the limits of what is possible. What kind of bright future lies ahead for us remains an open question. Perhaps new technologies will begin to emerge precisely from those fantastic ideas that now seem unattainable. And who knows, maybe somewhere else on Earth, another genius inspired by this story is already working on the next great breakthrough. Let your dreams soar and never stop at what you have already achieved.